Hey guys, I want to talk to you about lesson 7, um, the coordinate plane. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the top, and it shows the map shows the layout of a small town. The locations of the buildings are described in respect to the town hall. So the town hall is right here in the middle, and it says each unit on the grid represents one block. How can we use numbers and directions to describe these locations? So, first, we're going to look at number 1. It says describe the location of the barber shop in relation to the town hall. So, we have the town hall here, and the barber shop is there. And so, how could we describe the location of the barber shop? Well, when you look at town hall and you look at the barber shop and you count how many spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the barber shop is 5 units. Or 5 blocks would be better. Let's put blocks because we're talking about like the town. East of the town hall. East of town hall. Now maybe we need to go, we've got our directions here. Okay, so that's good. So we know that that's east. So it says what building is located 7 blocks east and 5 blocks north of the town hall. So we've got to start at our town hall, right? And it says 7 blocks east. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 5 blocks north. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, well, it's the firehouse. That was easy, wasn't it? The firehouse. Okay. Now it says Violetta is at the library. The library. Oh, there's the library right there. Describe how many blocks and in what direction she should travel to get to the supermarket. So Violetta is at the library and she wants to go from the library to the supermarket. How many blocks and in what direction should she travel? So if she's going to go from the library to the supermarket, is she going to go? She could go 1, 2, 3 to the right, and then 1, 2, 3 down. Oh, yeah. So she could go 3 blocks east. And 3 blocks south. I love it. It says, how can we use numbers and directions to describe locations on a map? Well, by starting at a central location, we can give the direction and the length to travel to reach the location, right? Let's say by starting at a central location, we can give directions or give which direction it is, or we can give the direction and length of travel. For example, east 3 blocks or south 10 blocks. And then it says, determine a question using the map. Determine a question using the map. Oh, so they're just wanting you to create your own question using the map. Okay. So if I were going to make my own question, I could say, what building is located 6 blocks west and 2 blocks north of Town Hall? So what building is located 6 blocks west and 2 blocks north of Town Hall? And that would be the supermarket. So your question here might be different. You know, it didn't have to be the same. You just get to create it. Love, love, love. Let's see. Do we have those on the next page? Yes, we do. I love it. Okay, next page. I love coordinate graphing, guys. Hopefully you'll like it as much as I do. Okay, so this is identify points in ordered pairs. So your coordinate plane, it's made up of your x-axis and your y-axis. And so what I love to do is I love to use like a yellow and a red. Let's see if I've got one in here. A yellow and a red. And my yellow would indicate my positives. My reds would indicate my negatives. And so, and this is, yeah, that's kind of a yellow. It's more of a, it's a yellowish. And so my yellow would be my positives. So those would be positive numbers. These would be, it's almost looking more like orange. Sorry, y'all. And then my red would be down here. So those would be my negative numbers and my negative numbers. Let's see if I can find a yellow. Oh, I think I found one. I found one right here. Let's see if it'll look yellow over it. Goodness gracious. Well, that's okay. It's yellowish. So these are your quadrants. You've got quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. And those are written with Roman numerals. So we use Roman numerals for the quadrants. Okay. The way you can remember the order, you know, this is a coordinate plane and it makes a big C, right? That's like a big C. Yeah, it's a C. And so that tells you 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I love it. Oh, this is really good too. So if your point lands in the first quadrant, then it's going to be positive. I like to put it there. If it's in quadrant 2, you know, you go across and then you go up. And so that would be negative, positive. Here would be across and down would be negative. And then quadrant 4 would be positive and then negative. So if your ordered pair lands in that quadrant, or if you've got a positive number, you know it's going to be in the first quadrant. Isn't that cool? Now, looking at your examples here. Example 1, identify the ordered pair that names point C. So here's point C, and look, you have to start at the origin. Now you might be thinking, well, what the heck is the origin? The origin's where the x-axis, which is the one going across, the y-axis, the one that's going vertically, where they intersect. And that's your starting point, 0, 0. So it says you're going to move right on the x-axis. The x-coordinate of point C is 1.5. Now, maybe through last year, you might have only used your first quadrant, and you probably just used whole numbers. You might have gotten into some, I can't remember if you do that or not, but you might not have had fractions. And so this is 1, so it's 1/2, 1, 1 1/2. So you're going across. And then it says you're going to move up the y-axis, and the y-coordinate is 1 because you've got 1/2 and 1. So your ordered pair is 1 and 1/2, 1. Both coordinates are positive. It's in the first quadrant, okay? Point C is in the first quadrant. I always say you walk over to the elevator and you can go up or down. Now your elevator could be in a negative direction or a positive direction. Get on the elevator and you can go up or down. Number 2, identify the point located at -1.5, -1. Then identify the quadrant where it's located. So we're going to start at our starting point. We're going to go -1.5 units, -1/2, -1, -1.5. And then we're going to go down to -1. Well, this first one would be -1/2. And here is -1. And we would end up at point B. Oh, good job. And it's in quadrant 3. Awesome. Now this, we want to pay close attention to this over here. Okay, I want to point this out. Points located on an axis are not in any quadrant. Points located on an axis are not in any quadrant. Okay? Okay, that's good information. Looking at the next page, it says, identify the ordered pair that names point A, then identify in which quadrant it's located. Okay, so we're going to have to look back over here. So point A. So we're going to go across. Looks like we're going to go across to -1 and up to 1.5. So that would be -1, -1, and then +1.5. Okay, so that's your x value first and then your y value. Okay, you always put it in that order. And if you think that's alphabetical order, isn't it? Here, and which quadrant is that located? This is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. So point A is in the second quadrant. So we can put the Roman numeral 2. Part B, identify the point located at 1, -2. We start at 0, 0. We're going to go to +1 and then -2. -1/2, -1, -1 1/2, -2. And that would be point E. Okay, and that's quadrant 4. Very good. So to graph an ordered pair, draw a dot at the point that corresponds with the coordinates. Here they're wanting us to graph point M at -3, +5. So we start at the origin. Look at that. The x coordinate is -3, so move 3 units to the left. I love, love, love how they explain this. Isn't this awesome? Okay, so this will be the first thing you do, right? The second thing you do says next, since the y coordinate is positive 5, move 5 units up and draw a dot. Now be very careful that you're doing units. A lot of people sometimes would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and put it in the wrong place. So you want to start and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So this would be step 2. So right here it says graph point N at -2.5, -3.5. So we're going to start at 0, 0, and we're going to move to the left 2.5 units. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 2.5. And then we're going to move down, negative direction, 3.5 units. And that's where we make the point. Now you notice that when it's between -2.5 is between -2 and -3. There's not a line there for you, but you're still able to plot that even though it's not on a line. And the same thing with the y coordinate. Okay, so be careful with that. Point P here, they want you to graph and label each point on the coordinate plane. So we're going to do P, which we would start at our origin, and -2 means we would go 1, 2 units, +4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we make our point right there, label it with a capital letter, and there you have it. Q, same thing, it's going to be 0, which means we're going to stay where we start, right? And then -4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's Q. Then for point R, we're going to start at 0, 0, and it says -1/2. That's -1, so this would be -1/2. And then -2.5 would be -1, -2, -2.5 would be right there. And that's where R would be. Okay? Hopefully that was easy for you. On the next page, this is on page, oh, whoops. Let me turn my light back on. There we go. Got kind of dark. On page 88 at the top, this talks about Kendall is building a fence, a square fence. She places a fence post at the location indicated on the grid. Each post is an equal distance to an axis. What are the locations of the 3 other fence posts? So I'm assuming that this is one of the fence posts. It says the point -4, 4 is 4 units away from the x-axis and 4 units away from the y-axis. In the first quadrant, the point 4, 4 is, 4 units, and that would be 4 up, which would be right here. Whoops, a little bit off. And then down here would be -4, -4. And then here would be 4, -4. So those would be her other locations. And that would build a square fence. So Kendall is placing a gate in the 4th quadrant. First, second, third, and 4th. So this quadrant. It will be 2 units long and 1 endpoint must be connected to a fence post. What are the 2 possible endpoints of the gate? So it will be 2 units long and 1 endpoint will be, must be connected to the fence post, okay? 2 units long. So we could have, and it's got to be connected here. So we could have, oh yeah, we could have right here, couldn't we? I'll do it in a different color. We could have 2 -4, and that would be 2 units long, and it would be connected. We could have 4 -2, which would be right here. That would be 2 units long, and that would be connected. If you really wanted to think outside the box, look at that. Couldn't we go like this? Couldn't we go 1, 2, and we could have one right there, couldn't we? Whew. How about that? So we could have our ordered pairs could be 2, -4, or -2, -4, or wait, we said, wait, that's not right. Oh, 4, -2. I think this one's wrong. If we had, no, that one wouldn't be right. So this would be 4, -2 would be this one. This one would be 2, -4, and then we could have 2, -2. That's what it is. Okay, so we could have 2, -2. Could be another point. So that's 3 options. They just wanted you to list 2. All right. I hope that was easy for you. And let's see. So for your assignment, how about on page 89, you do 1. Let's do page 89. And let's do 1 through 18, okay? Be sure that when you're listing your ordered pairs that you put them inside parentheses with a comma between them. Be sure that when you're listing your quadrants that you do Roman numerals. And then I'll be looking forward to us getting to do a fun picture graph, okay? But that'll be later in the week, all right? So you guys have an awesome, awesome day. And let me know if you have any questions about the coordinate plane. See you later.